the clock, you're feeling wavy. Way too early to be hazy. Start a 10 job cause you're fucking crazy. Yeah, you back in the game and you don't feel ashamed. Always want me at your parties, like me next to a Bacardi. Cause you know I'm spinning faster than a Harley. Yeah, you're still in the game but you don't feel ashamed. You just close your eyes when you wish to be free. You look up to the sky and call on me. Let me put color in your sky, take away the gray. Turn the roof to a floor on a Saturday. Up it tall in the night, you do what I say. I'm just a getaway, I'm just your getaway. I'll make you warm if it's chilly and I probably make you say things you wouldn't do normally. I'm like a 9 to 5 job, but you work for me. I'm your getaway, cause you can get away. I got no perception. What is real, what's your projection? I make you dizzy in your head, got no protection. You're lost in the game, can't remember your name. Calling on the horn and my ship will come to play. You can get no sleep, stay awake to numb the pain. Make you save your problems for another day. I'm your getaway, but you can get away. You just close your eyes when you wish to be free. You look up to the sky and call on me. Let me put color in your sky, take away the gray. Turn the roof to a floor on a Saturday. Up it tall in the night, you do what I say.
Alright guys, so that was the base tour of the final base product. I doubt it's going to be wiped before the wipe on Friday. It is now Tuesday. I doubt it is going to be wiped by then. We recently acquired the Cinecrops and spammed them, so it's pretty impossible to get in, especially with the amount we put in there. So I doubt we're going to get raided. But today's video is going to be helpful tips and tricks, or anything helpful I think people should know going into the next wipe, based on my limited experience on the Foppas gaming community server. So the most important thing I want to talk about is voting, guys. Every day you can vote. You can go to the Discord. If you press F3 here, it'll pop up this. You can go to Discord. You can go to the vote channel. It'll show you and explain how to vote there. It'll also explain how to verify your account, so you can link your Steam to your account so you can get your points periodically. So on this server, every 30 minutes you acquire 30 points on the server, and well, depending, if you donate you can get up to 40, or I think 40 is max, I'm not sure, but if you donate you get more. But the base for everybody is 30, so you get 30 points every half hour that you're online and playing. So you can definitely claim votes. You can get up to 500 or more points every day just for voting. And when you vote, after you vote, you come here, you click claim votes, and it'll accumulate your points and give you your points. This is very, very vital, guys, because there's some really, really good stuff in the shop that'll give you a boost on the server, and we're going to go over a few of these things. So the first day you start, it's brand new wipe, you go and vote. I'm not sure if they're going to have the shop open immediately, but when it is eventually opened, you have your 500 points. You definitely want to grab a few of the things on here. The first one being the tech plots. The 2.0 is going to dupe quite a lot of things. It'll dupe pretty much any resource that you need. Metal, polymer, obsidian, cementing paste, all of that stuff. It's going to dupe that there, and that's this here. Costs 300 points. You can definitely get one of those to start you off on. You just dupe your a little bit of each resource, and that'll get you a good start. It's definitely my #1 recommended buy on this. When you're first starting out. The second thing, once you get seeds going, is going to be your tech plot 1.0. And your tech plot 1.0 is it basically grows seeds for almost any resource that you actually have. If you go over here to the seeds bench, which I don't know where seeds, right here. If you go to the seeds bench and you go to farming, go to seeds, and then you have your tier system here, this will pretty much allow you to grow any number of seeds in the game. So for example, this is going to be your basic seeds. Tier 1's going to have your meat seeds for feeding your dinos. Tier 2 is going to have flint, hide, thatch, dyes. It's going to have like spoiled meat, things like that. And then as you go up in the tier list, you get better and better resources. You get gunpowder seeds, you get metal seeds, and this is absolutely the fastest way of farming any of the materials. It grows quite a lot quicker than duping. So as you can see here, we have the 1.0s here on the right side, and we have the 2.0s over here on this side. So for the 1.0, I have gunpowder going, actually cementing paste on this one. We were low on cementing paste. I let it go overnight. It's absolutely full. It's got 600 slots of 100,000 cementing paste. That's quite a lot of cementing paste. And we have gunpowder in this one. So what I do is I do metal in one, and then I do gunpowder in the rest for making bullets, or if I need, say, electronics or polymer or flint or stone or whatever the case might be. You just put the seed in here and you grow. It grows extremely fast. You get an extreme amount of resources. So definitely try to do your seeds right off the bat as quickly as you possibly can, because that's going to definitely help you in never needing pretty much any resource ever again. And then in your 2.0s here, you can actually dupe items. So I put one in here, for example. Let's take these out. These have been duping for quite a while. You put one of these in here, boom, it goes from 1 to 8,001. So it dupes, I think, I'm not sure exactly the period that it takes to dupe, but it does it fairly quickly, just not as quickly as the plots. But you can't, dupe everything in these. So like insta-tame meat, you could definitely dupe in these. You can definitely dupe health potions, any kind of dino resource, so like celestial hide, fiber, stuff like that. You can dupe in here for upgrading saddles or anything like that. You can dupe in there. Stuff you can't dupe is like ammo and stuff, Just mess around with it, see what you can and can't dupe. There's no harm in trying to dupe something. If it dupes, it dupes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. See, we were duping a lot of these, so we're going to just take these out, or as much as we can. And we're going to slap them in there. Got quite a lot of those now. So, yeah, that's pretty much the most important thing, I think, for resource gathering, because it's going to allow you to build all your turrets. It's going to allow you to make all your ammo. And it's going to allow you to get all the resources you need to pretty much have an infinite supply of any resource or any building or any kind of thing you want. A cool thing to know actually with the dupers is you can dupe steroids, you can dupe the grow up potions, you can dupe the gestation potions, the sex change potions. You can dupe all those, so when you're doing breeding stuff, you just have a ton of that to work with. So that's a really good thing to remember when you're starting breeding, is you can dupe all those. Alongside of the Tech 2.0 or the 1.0s and the 2.0s, I think the next best thing I can recommend is the SS Auto Crafter here. And I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of how this exactly works. So in order to craft this, you're gonna need a generic trophy, which isn't very hard to get. Auto crafter. So you're gonna need an auto crafter here, and all you need is 25 element, 1 generic artifact, 1 crafting station, 1 fabric SS fabricator, and 1 SS smithy, and then you can have yourself 1 auto crafter. I've never needed more than 1 of these, to be honest with you, but if you feel like you need more, go ahead and make more. But I'll give you a little rundown of how this works exactly. Let me pick it up and we can go from the start. So I have my auto crafter picked up. I just crafted it. I'm about to set it down here. Okay, so it's powered. So you go into the inventory, and what you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need to put a crafting station in it. I suggest the tech replicator, but I mean, if you have like just a fabricator or something to make bullets specifically, you can throw that in there. Just whatever you're trying to make, you need to have the crafting bench for that item. So you're gonna go ahead and click here, select crafting station. You're gonna go to your tech replicator. Okay, then you're gonna go select recipe, and you're gonna go to ADV because I want to make some bullets for the death wall. Boom. Okay, now it's set to ADV. Now it tells you here it produces 2 advanced rifle bullet for 1 metal and 9 gunpowder. So what you can do here is, now that this is all in here, you want to click on this card, click the selected recipe. You want to go up here, you want to type in metal, okay? And if you have metal going in your seeds, or you have metal going anywhere in your base pretty much, it will take out. So we're going to go ahead and withdraw 2 million metal here, right? We're going to pull 2 million metal. It pulls it in here. And then what we're going to do is click this cloud again, and we're going to go gunpowder. Click gunpowder. You see we have 70 million here, and we have 59 billion, I want to say, here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull in 5 million. And then we're going to pull that in. And what it does, guys, is it automatically crafts your items. See how it turned all that into bullets? So now we have a little bit of bullets here. And you can continually do that, right? So I can go back to gunpowder. Click gunpowder. Click here. Do another 5 million. Pull. Boom. It's going to auto craft, guys. It's an auto crafter. It will do this with anything. If you have a bunch of shards and you want to turn it into element, and you don't have an element seed, you're not growing element, which the element seed you can also buy from the shop. But if you're not growing element, what you can do is actually put a ton of shards in here, use a replicator to craft the shards into element the same way, and it'll automatically put that into element, so you don't have to wait for any, you know, crafting time, because that's just what the auto crafter does. It's absolutely a must-have in my opinion, especially for bullets. You can craft millions of bullets in a matter of seconds as long as you have the resources going. That's why I definitely say get the seeds done as fast as you possibly can, because you can grow the gunpowder, you can grow the metal, so you really just have an infinite supply of bullets at that point with the auto crafter. And that's what makes it so high on my list. It's definitely a must-have. Excuse me. The next item that I want to go over, guys, is going to be the club. Okay, the club is absolutely important for raid defending, because if somebody has a Terra Nova or something and they're preparing to run your base, you can run up, go to torpidity mode. You can right click on it, it'll change the mode. Go to torpidity mode, you smack the hell out of a Terra Nova, it's going to get knocked out, and it's going to eventually actually die. So it's kind of a good thing, because it definitely makes it a little harder on them to raid you, because you're knocking their Terra Novas out, you're knocking their Dire Bears out, you're knocking whatever. In foot PvP, if someone's coming at you on a Griffin and they you know, and they land, you can hit them with this, bam, they're no longer on the Griffin, they're now foot PvPing. Club, definitely a good item to have. The next thing I think is absolutely recommended is to have teleporters, because teleporters, one of the better features of teleporters, besides, you know, having a place to teleport, you can hold E on them after you die. You can hit retrieve corpse, and it'll grab all your items from when you died, as long as nobody picked it up, or as long as a dino hadn't killed you and picked up your stuff. It'll grab your inventory, okay, and it'll put it back on your body. I'm gonna give you a little quick example of that. So if I do /suicide here, I'm gonna kill myself for 10 points. I'm gonna spawn back on the bed. Okay, and then if you run over here to the teleporter, you hit E, retrieve corpse. I just picked up all my items that were on my body there. Absolutely a must-have, guys. I really think it is very important to remember this, because if you're in a PvP situation, someone kills you in a manner which they can't immediately grab your body, then I think it's really good that you can just spawn here on your bed, run over to the teleporter, grab your stuff. Especially useful for rocket running offline bases, because you can, pardon me guys, it's especially useful for running offline bases, because what you can actually do is rocket run the base, come back, put a teleporter outside, whatever you're doing, as like a little fob, and then grab your stuff and just rocket run again. So it's definitely one of the more useful things. There's a remote that comes along with it that For anyone who doesn't know, it will actually teleport you. It's right here. I'll pull the resources to make one of these, and we'll show you how this works. What this does is it will actually teleport you to any of the predetermined locations, so like obelisk terminals, boss terminals, stuff like that. And then you got these here. So if we hit main base here, it'll definitely teleport us to main base. We're gonna cancel that. No, we're not. So yeah, we just teleported back to the main base. So it's definitely one of the more useful things to have, especially the remote. They're not very expensive to make, but I would definitely have these handy, because if you die, you can easily recover your body. It's a lot less demanding. It's a lot less resource loss than, you know, not having one and losing your body in PvP situations. The next thing I want to go over, and the last thing on the shop that I really want to talk about, guys, is a primitive alpha wyvern saddle. For 10 points in the shop, if you hit F3 again, you can buy the alpha wyvern saddle here. And what it is it's a saddle. Basically, it's 20 armor. When you get it, you need to upgrade it in the upgrade bench. Alright, so this you get it at 20 armor. You need to upgrade it in the upgrade bench over here. You can make a blueprint of it, then upgrade it, and then yeah, that's another process. So, but what that does, it allows any creature that doesn't normally have a saddle, so like these griffins here, for example, you see how it has the alpha wyvern saddle. You can place it on anything that doesn't have a saddle, like manticores, stuff like that, and you can actually ride them at that point. The griffins as well will give a bit of armor. It's a cheap investment, guys, and you can use it on any dinosaur in the game that has a saddle slot. So it's definitely good, definitely worth getting, and getting early, so that way you can ride creatures that don't normally have saddles, or you can't acquire saddles for them. Alright, that brings us to the next point I want to make, guys. Is it's extremely easy to get wiped on this server. It's absolutely extremely easy to get completely wiped out with as much damage as some of the creatures do and stuff like that. So I want to talk about uploading. Make sure, no matter if you get something important, you get seeds, you make seeds. What I do here is I put one of each seed in the game and upload. That way if I get wiped, I can easily, I also put my tech plots every night in upload. So that way if I get wiped and I go to restart a base, I can slap one of those 1.0 tech plots down and I can grow seeds. Same thing with the 2.0s. I put them in upload. I put anything I absolutely need in upload that I need to dupe for the base, and I can just get right back on my feet. So for example, I have large EXP potions for any breeding I need to do. I have some breeding items, sex change potions for changing my dino's sexes. So if I uploaded 2 males, I can now have a breeding pair. I have breeding reset potions in here so that I can dupe them. I have some of my lines in here. My spirit thylas, my spirit manticores are in here. I have a tech sleeping pod. I have turrets in case I get wiped. I have a generator. I usually have a rep and a transmitter. I recommend putting at least somewhat of a prefab base in here, so that way if you do get wiped, you are completely, you know, set to start rebuilding without too much of a hassle. Some of my blueprints I've upgraded are in here in case I do get wiped. At least I have the blueprints for some of the creatures I uploaded. So right here I have a Ascendant Spirit Thyla saddle. It's capped, so I have that. If I ever get wiped, my Spirit Thylas will have their saddles. I just recommend making sure, guys, I have Insta-Tame Jerky in here so I can start taming stuff if I need to. I have some of the broken pieces of Celestial equipment, and I usually keep a set of Celestial blueprints in here, so that way if I do get wiped, I have armor again. I have the means to craft a bunch of armor. I usually keep the blueprint for the material that you craft the club out of. I usually keep that in here. Again, I'm pretty confident we're not going to get wiped based on our build design and based on the lateness of the wipe. So I usually keep everything in here to, if I ever get wiped, guys, I can have a pre-made base pretty quickly. And I can just continue on like nothing ever happened. And that's that's the importance of uploading, I think, on this server especially. And with the amount of hours it gives you, you're never going to run out of uploads time, because some of this stuff I've had in here for quite a while. It has 19 hours left, 33 hours left. I've had this for about a week in here, guys, and it's fine. So, I mean, some of this I will have to pull out and upload, but re-upload eventually, but it's not going to be a problem because the wipe's going to pretty much take care of this. I'm not going to really need any of this in here because it's all going to go away and disappear. So that's the importance of keeping stuff in upload, guys. I really, really, really suggest that you guys do that, just as a precautionary tale for yourself, so that way if you are wiped, you can jump right back into it. Alright, guys, so now we're gonna move on to my recommended tames. Aside from the obvious, Terra Novas, XP Owls are not going to be included in this, but I absolutely recommend them from raiding. The XP Owls have a ton of health, and they can easily dive. You can easily dive bomb, owl bomb people's bases. Definitely do a lot of damage with owls. They're extremely useful. I really suggest you having them. Terra Novas go unexplained. I'm not going to put them in this video because they're pretty self-explanatory about how you use them and what they're used for. So one thing we're going to go over is the Synacrops, the cryogenic Synacrops. This guy's pretty crazy. We only barely got our hands a hold of these guys. What they do is they do an AoE freeze, so anything that comes within a certain radius of them will be frozen. So if somebody's penguining your base and they try to run your wall, this Synacrops will freeze them, and they'll most likely die to turrets because they are now frozen in front of all of your turrets. They lose their momentum, they lose their speed, they no longer have the speed. Definitely the same with owls. Probably the same with Terra Novas, although I'm not exactly sure. I've never seen it, but I'm assuming that's the same concept there for these guys. You can put them on your shoulder if you don't know what Synacrops do. In general, you can put them on your shoulder, you have your armor on, you know, you can hold spacebar, they'll fly you, you can double tap spacebar, they'll do a huge jump, throw you into the air. They're just really useful, especially on here. The cryogenic Synacrops does a lot of damage to AoE around you as well, so if I were to go outside periodically every like 30 seconds or so, it'll do an AoE attack that pretty much kills anything around me. At that point, not as effective on players, but definitely effective on tames. I've had someone drop one of these at an obelisk when I went to go upload to another server or something, and it was just sitting there, and I landed my tame there, and it just pretty much one-shot my tame. Of course, it was a griffin, and they're really squishy, but that's what it did. So these guys are definitely overpowered. If you can get your hands on them, definitely a must. They are absolutely the best defense that you can have in a raid. And they're really cute as well, so, I mean, why not? Coming to the next creature, we have the Ascendant Dire Bear, or the Celestial Dire Bear is its base form. You can ascend them to the upgraded Ascended Celestial Dire Bear. What these guys do, they have an attack that will slam into the ground, and they will ground anything. They will ground flyers and ground creatures that fly into their vicinity. They will allow penguins not to jump, things like that. They're very useful if you are on them, spamming them. The AI, of course, is a little buggy, so I definitely wouldn't rely on these guys to use their attacks when you actually need them. So they're definitely really good for spamming, though, if you need to spam an entrance or something. Highly recommended. They have a lot of health, a lot of damage. They can hit through mesh walls, so if you have somebody raiding your tunnel around the corner and you put this guy behind one of the corners and the enemies are in range even through the wall, it will definitely do damage to them and their team. I find them really useful. So that's a Celestial Dire Bear. There's a pair on this one, so the Spirit Thyla we're going to talk about, but we're also going to talk about the Chaos Thyla. I don't have a Chaos Thyla at the moment. Our line was killed, and it's just too late in the wipe to really bother about going to get another one. So my whole raid defense has always been Spirit Thyla. I know I've talked about it in a lot of videos. Their energy ball attack pretty much blinds everybody. even yourself at times it can be very annoying. But what it's going to do is it's going to shoot 2 energy balls. They're going to explode into a huge AoE of light and damage. It does not affect players that I know of, but it does blind them, and it does quite a lot of if you have a lower end PC like me, it can lag you out quite a bit. So the other one on that note is the Chaos Styla. It's very, very overpowered for killing tames. I had the alphas here, Asta. He was on a Chaos Styla, and I had my Spirit Thyla and Celestial Dire Bear guarding the entrance using their abilities, and he just spammed the Chaos balls into my base, and they pretty much killed anything. The cool thing about the Chaos Styla is when the balls hit the ground, they actually leave a burning effect that does a ton of damage to teams that are left in it. So it's like a damage over time ability that hits the ground. So if you hit your Thyla or you hit your Dire Bear, it's gonna go on the ground, it's gonna burn, and they're most likely gonna die pretty quickly because it does an insane amount of damage. I assume you could spam this on, like, if somebody's raiding you with Terra Novas and stuff, but they have so much health it's a little different, and people usually pop healing potions. So it's going to be a little harder to do that, but Chaos Thyla is definitely one I recommended to go along with your Spirit Thyla, just for terms of utility and, you know, killing off dinos. So, last guy I want to talk about is the Penguino, but not because you can use them to raid. As everybody knows, you can walk up to one of these guys, you can press E to get inside of it, and you can rocket run walls. Well, what I want to talk about the Penguino is actually for PvP purposes, and I give a shout out to Asta from Hocus Pocus for teaching me this one, because as we were trying to defend on our dinos, Asta would come in with the Penguin, which he was also raiding with, and he would pull out his sniper rifle and he would shoot. Okay, I am in the Penguino, right, and I'm shooting. This acts as a huge defense for you, because one, the enemy can't really snipe you because you're in the Penguino, so the Penguino is going to take damage, and secondly, you are, you know, you're maneuverable, you can snipe. So say you're about to rocket run, but someone pulled out a Dire Bear or something like that, and they're sitting there on top of it spamming, well, guess what, I can shoot them from inside of my Penguino, kill them, and then I can rocket run their wall or something like that. Guys, it's a huge PvP tip. I just wanted to give a shout out to Asta for actually teaching me that one. It's a pretty good move. I would have never actually thought of that, but it's definitely good for PvP. So if you're going to Blue Ob on Rag and you're just like, hey, I want a PvP, throw down a Penguin, grab your sniper, and go ham on people who just decide to foot PvP you, because you basically have a shield that is worth 92 million damage. And if you're only doing, you know, for example, I'm only doing 3k to this guy, you know, you're never really gonna die, are you? Because I have a 92 million health shield. So there's that tip, guys, and that's really all I can think of for base defense or the dinos that I recommend the most. And it's just gonna help you overall. All these guys are gonna genuinely help you survive, base defense, utility, making it very annoying to be raided, and then also giving you some OP armor. Just between all these guys, it's just useful to have. So they're definitely ones I recommend. There's a lot of other ones. The Ice Griffins, they can freeze people. That's really good in PvP. I definitely recommend Ice Griffins. There's a ton of creatures that kind of go unnoticed, but we could definitely talk about, but that's probably going to be in another video, guys. That kind of wraps it up for this one. That's my most important tips I think you guys should know going into the wipe. There's probably a lot more, but I'm discovering them along with you guys. I'm pretty new to the mod myself, so I'm learning just like everybody else has or is going to learn. So, and that's about it, guys. I'm gonna try to do a couple more videos if I can. Maybe I'll do a base location guide for the upcoming wipe, because I know we're gonna have new maps. So when I find out which new maps we're gonna have, I will definitely do a video on what I think the best locations are gonna be based on how you rate on this server. So without without really knowing what maps there is going to be, I can't really say much, but I look forward to doing that, guys. So if you found any of these tips useful at all, I definitely recommend tuning in for the next one. But if you guys want, you can like the video, leave a comment on any tips that I might missed that you guys think are vital, or subscribe even if you like the content. Definitely would help me out, and it definitely motivates me to keep helping you guys out, making videos, and looking forward to the future on the channel. So without further ado, guys, I will see you all in the next video.